Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Just want to address something before we officially kickstart this video. The rumors are true. Anna and I are officially married. Thank you to everyone who sent us congratulatory wishes and messages on YouTube, Instagram, Discord, other social media platforms. You are as sweet as a goddamn fucking cinnamon roll. Thank you very much. Anna, do you have anything to say to these people who have said congratulations and very likely will now also say congratulations?
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Wow! We just got married and here I am recording a fucking video. It's okay. After this, we're going out to a bunch of nice fucking restaurants. Steak! Lobster! Wine! What else?
Shrimp. I don't know, lobster.
Shrimp! I already said lobster, but we can get some more lobster. That's okay. Don't worry. So yeah, thank you. Anyways, White Ward, Ukrainian post-black metal jazz fusion band. I'm not really sure what to officially call them. Here's what I do know. Their new album, False Light, is one of the best albums of 2022 so far. White Ward have been kicking around for close to a decade now, putting out tons of demos and EPs and singles from 2012 to 2015, and then releasing an official debut album in 2017. But if you're anything like me, then none of that fucking matters, because if you're anything like me, you very likely came to know White Ward through their 2019 record, Love Exchange Failure. A fantastic combination of shimmering post-rock and post-metal atmospheres and melodies, melancholic vibes, aggressive black metal, and elements of classic jazz and jazz fusion providing additional light and color and contrast. Very simply put, it was a great album. But respectfully, this is an even better album. This expands on everything that Love Exchange Failure did so well in so many new and exciting ways. It's bigger, it's brighter, it's more dynamic, it's more ambitious, it's more cinematic, it's more introspective. The production is brighter while also being bleaker. The songs are more focused. The band is angrier. And while I doubt that this is intentional, I'd like to point out that an album this emotional, this powerful, coming out of Ukraine of all places right now, has a certain level of poignancy and urgency to it that other albums not coming out of Ukraine right now simply don't have. Does that make sense, Anna?
Yeah.
I feel like that makes sense. It's no disrespect to what other bands are putting out right now, but Ukraine kind of going through some shit, and White Ward persevering through all of that to release this record, and in particular to release something so ambitious and so unique, I think has to be applauded. Appropriately, the album opens on a track called Leviathan, a gargantuan slab of post-rock and stark black metal and melancholic jazz working together in bizarre but fascinating and cathartic harmony. It's undeniably a bold move to open any album on a track that is 13 minutes and 15 seconds long, but White Ward rise to the challenge with some stark, melancholic post-rock rhythms and melodies, some aggressive, riff-driven black metal, some fantastic jazzy harmonies and melodies as trumpets and saxophones fill the air. They provide a lot of contrast in the quieter sections, a lot of additional atmosphere and weight, but, oftentimes they can be heard in the forefront of the sound alongside the more aggressive black metal rhythms and riffs and beatdowns. And when all of these elements really start to come together, it is absolutely stunning. Right after the halfway point of this track, for instance, there's a burst of, minimalistic, atmospheric jazz with these very smooth and sensual horns. There's some very stark, aggressive black metal riffing that is then brought into the mix. A lot of tension, a lot of momentum is being built up, some very dry, cackled black metal vocals. But then there's also some very bassy, almost kind of goth metal, typo negative style clean vocals, and an absolutely ripping guitar solo contrasted with some more smooth saxophone melodies. It's a really beautiful, cathartic moment. There's so much emotion, so much love and honesty, so much sadness pouring out of the latter half of this track. And from here on, the good times just keep on a-rolling. The hits just keep on coming. It's banger after banger after motherfucking certified banger. Both Phoenix and Silent Circles, for instance, have these really great moments where guitar and saxophone and trumpet all kind of trade off of each other, and the riffing is super sharp. The percussion is great, vocals are great, it's atmospheric, it's dense, it never feels overwhelming or intimidating though. There's also Salt Paradise, which initially feels like a pretty straightforward kind of transitionary interlude, the type you would find on any modern rock or metal album, but very quickly you realize it's got its own identity, its own flavor profile with its own spices and ingredients. It's got these very rustic, slow-moving acoustic guitars and these deep, bassy, almost chanted spoken word vocals with trumpets soaring overhead like an eagle in the sky. It almost feels like something that would be pulled from the score of like a classic spaghetti western, or, I don't know, maybe in this case a pierogi western, if you don't mind me saying. Then you have Cronus, which for a little bit very cleverly contrasts some colorful saxophone riffs with some cold, classic post-rock and post-punk vibes and atmospheres. Afterwards then blossoming into a surprisingly pretty malicious piece of melodic black metal. I mean, there are some really chunky fucking riffs here and some gnarly fucking beats. Like, right at the very end, too, it goes straight for the jugular with this kind of groove-laden ending that feels genuinely really vicious and bloodthirsty, even despite, again, saxophone and trumpet and jazz flavors kind of nudging their way in. And then there's the title track, False Light, which, much like Leviathan, is this shape-shifting, multi-part creation of epic fucking proportions. Cold, quiet, atmospheric jazz sections, some pretty potent post-metal stuff, some vicious second-wave black metal brutality, all working together in powerful fashion. I really like some of the clean vocals that can be found later on as well. They're very simplistic, but they're placed on top of everything, which gives this a very majestic, almost heavenly kind of feel. If it were up to me, I probably would have cut Echoes in Eternity and Downfall from the record. As an intro and as an outro, respectively, they just don't really add much to the record. They don't have much going on in them musically or thematically. They feel kind of useless. But I mean, hey, when we're looking at the big picture here, there's really no point in complaining about a little bit of fat and gristle on what is ultimately an expertly seasoned and cooked prime rib steak. One that is absolutely mouth-watering and delicious, served with all the usual fixings, as well as a few other more unorthodox fixings to kind of challenge and expand your palate. I love this fucking thing. One of the best albums of the fucking year, as I already discussed in another video. My score should not be a fucking surprise. This is a very strong 4.5 out of 5 from me. I sincerely regret not pre-ordering this record. I mean, paying for the wedding is important, but like, White Ward, Anna, come on. White Ward, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to say at this point. It's just an incredible record, one of the best of the fucking year. Definitely expect for this to be on the final top 10 at the end of the year at this rate. Because, you know, it's fucking incredible. 4.5 out of 5. Check it out, man. You won't fucking regret it. And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I'm not an expert, nor do I claim to be. So what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? And what do you want to hear from me next? And thank you for watching. Make sure you press subscribe right here so you get updates on the Metal Meltdown fucking immediately. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.